breaking news. This is News Channel 5 this morning.
All right, good morning, everybody. Glad to have you back with us. Breaking news now. We continue to follow this fire. Investigators on the scene of a suspicious fire in downtown Nashville. It's just in our backyard, too. We've been smelling the smoke all morning. News Channel 5, Sophie Nielsen-Colding live on the scene for us this morning. So, Sophie, why do they think it's suspicious?
Because it's a vacant building, hadn't been used in years. It was a warehouse with no power hooked up to the building, no gas lines hooked up to the building. As you can see now, they've put up caution tape because they don't want anyone going near it. They've actually told news crews to stay at the corners because they're afraid that these walls could collapse at any moment. They're all cracked and bowed from the heat of that fire and then the water on top of that all morning long. This fire started around 2:30 this morning. Just before 2:30 is when the call came out. And take a look at how big it was at that time. Flames shooting up into the air. That fire was so hot it broke several of the windows on the side of the building. People who we talked to came from all over. They saw the smoke. They came down to see what was going on. Some people said it was the biggest fire they've ever seen in their lives. Fire investigators are on scene right now, but because the roof has collapsed and those walls could collapse, there's no telling when they'll be able to get inside the building to do their checks to find out what actually caused this fire in the first place. As soon as we know, we'll update it on NewsChannel5.com. For now, live in downtown Nashville, Sophie Nielsen-Colding, News Channel 5.
All right, Sophie, thank you. And also breaking overnight, a boy hit and killed by a train in Sumner County. It happened in Portland, where police say it was around 10:30 last night along South Russell Street. That boy walking along the tracks when he was struck by the train. The investigation is still underway.
Clarksville police are looking for the gunman behind a deadly shooting. Investigators tell us Marcellus Flynn was killed yesterday morning on Ernest Shelton Drive. The 39-year-old was rushed to Tennova Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stopper 615-645-TIPS.
Amy, a Nashville clerk, died from injuries sustained during a confrontation with a couple of teenagers earlier in the week. And now those teens could be facing some serious charges, either a murder charge or a manslaughter charge. The clerk's name, Ruth Asafa. He passed away from a severe head injury. Here's what happened. Metro Police say the 26-year-old was working at the Citgo store along Main Street. He got into an argument with a 15-year-old boy. That argument turned physical. The boy's 17-year-old brother jumped in and punched Asafa. Well, the clerk fell backwards, struck his head on a cinder block wall, went to the hospital where he died. The DA will decide if any charges are going to be filed. Metro Police hoping you can help them identify the driver behind the wheel of a deadly hit and run. Ida Abdel Sayed was crossing Hamilton Church Road Saturday when she was struck and killed. The driver stopped for just a moment and then sped away. Investigators say they are reviewing surveillance video now in the area. They're hoping that people will keep an eye out for a damaged sedan. Call 615-74-CRIME if you know anything about that hit and run. Amy?
I hope they can find them. And terrifying moments for a little boy at a school bus stop. He was standing there alone when a stranger tried to get him to get into his car. News Channel 5's Brandon Marshall brings us new information about the attempted abduction in Clarksville.
Neighbors tell me the boy did the right thing. While waiting for his school bus at the corner of Market and E, a man drove up to him and tried to get him into his Hummer. People say what the boy did next makes him a hero.
It's a fairly safe neighborhood. We've lived here for 2 years. We've never had any problems.
There's a sense of feeling safe here in this Clarksville community.
See kids going up and down the street. Nobody's afraid to be around here.
Kids are comfortable playing in the streets.
It's just scary to know it was right in my neighborhood.
But neighbors are on edge after a man tried to lure a 7-year-old boy into his Hummer at this school bus stop.
Left the house this morning, I saw a little boy from the neighborhood running as fast as he could to what looked like his mom on the front lawn.
Ben Yeto was shocked to hear the news.
When I got off work, I swung by just to make sure they're okay.
Yeto knows the family. He tells us they're shaken up but safe.
I think any 7-year-old or any child would be shook up from something like that.
This incident hits close to home for this father of 4.
You know, our oldest walks to school every day. I mean, that could happen to her, you know. Luckily, I mean, she walks with a group of kids.
He calls the boy a hero.
I mean, that was a smart move, brave.
The kid took off, and Mom was watching, so he headed directly for Mom.
Officer Jim Knoll applauds the boy for his bravery.
And the kid did just what they were supposed to do.
He wants people to look out for the black Hummer H2 with the license plate J3493K.
That's good neighborhood awareness.
His message for parents tonight: talk to kids about what to do if approached by strangers.
Make a lot of noise, because like you said, then you bring attention to yourself, and that's when somebody's going to be there to try to help you.
And helping each other out is something we all could use a little more of to keep our streets safe. Police are actively looking for that vehicle. Now, there are 2 other Hummers in this area, but not with the same tags. Anyone with any information is asked to call police. In Clarksville tonight, Brandon Marshall, News Channel 5.